is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. We begin with breaking news: the shouting match in the Oval Office. President Trump and Vice President Vance raising their voices as tempers flared with Ukrainian President Zelenskyy. It all happened in front of the cameras. CBS News Miami's Erica Brown reports from the White House.
Tensions spilled over in the Oval Office between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy during a meeting that was supposed to be about ending Russia's war with Ukraine.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
The conversation turned contentious as Zelenskyy questioned Vice President Vance about Russia honoring any deal.
What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
President Trump stepped in, telling Zelenskyy America saved Ukraine.
If you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this.
Again,
I tell you.
Just say thank you.
The White House says Ukraine has been difficult to negotiate with for some time.
I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
A scheduled news conference with the two leaders was scrapped, and Zelenskyy left with neither side signing a mineral rights agreement. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look at beautiful downtown Miami. What a gorgeous day across South Florida. And hopefully this great weather sticks around for the weekend. Ivan, you're tracking it all.
I overheard you saying you can't wait for the weekend. Something
with
special?
Weather like that?
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, just to be outside and savor it and take it all in, right? This is the time of year we are the envy of the world.
And March starts tomorrow. It's our last weekend with standard time. I think, once we switch the clocks in a couple of weeks, we're really into the season here. But we're making a couple more cold fronts before it's all said and done. But meteorological spring starts tomorrow, March 1st. 80-degree weather. We woke up with some cool temperatures. Very low humidity. The humidity was comfortable. Now it's very, very low, so not going to find much in the way of rainfall. Tomorrow's rain chance, I've brought that down to 10%. I had 20 yesterday. I think we're going to be, just fine here for the weekend. Warm start to March, no question about it. And we do have a late week cold front that will be bringing in a couple of showers. I think that's our best shot. You'll see that on the next Weather 7 day. But for now, radar and clouds, there's nothing to show you from top to bottom. As you saw there on our weather cam, skies are blue. Not much, even cloud cover is hard to make with this dry air upstairs and down here as well. 78 in Homestead, and we're in the low 70s for the Florida Keys right now. Dew points in the 50s. That is the Goldilocks for humidity. 40s, that's too low and it starts getting uncomfortably dry, but that is about perfect. And that is what we're heading in for tonight. Also with the dry air, really, it's just clear skies, but temperatures will fall a little bit. Now, the reason we won't be in the 50s and low 60s tomorrow morning is because the wind will shift and it'll come on the water, off the water, and that will result in milder temperatures as we head through the morning. But it's still going to be refreshingly cool along with the low humidity. There's that 10% rain chance. We'll pinpoint that for you. 82 degrees, and we'll keep it in the low 80s, so it's a couple degrees above average. We'll take it into the afternoon. Next weather rain tracker. We'll start it off as we head through your Friday evening. Again, plans outside. If you haven't made them, make them. Tomorrow morning, you'll wake up. If you wake up early enough, you'll see some cloud cover out there, but it's not going to stick around. This will melt away, and we'll be dealing with mostly sunny conditions through mid-morning. Now, if you blink, you miss it. That's always a good thing with the rain tracker here. A couple little showers beginning to pop up around 3 o'clock, and those will be out of the picture here by the time we get into evening hours. So most of us won't see rain. 10% coverage. That's it, because then on Sunday, it's going to be just like today, we're going to have that north wind that will allow for full sunshine and not much. Weather department is going to be quiet, so that always means the weather's going to be good for you. Checking in on the beach for tomorrow. Even there, we're looking fantastic. Rip currents are going to be on the low side. The winds are very light. High UV index, in fact, very high at this point. Sun angle continues to climb, and that's what's going to set us up for a cool morning tomorrow once again, with temperatures in lower 60s, mid 60s, and a quick jump to the low 80s into the afternoon. We'll do that with plenty of sunshine throughout both weekend days, but right around 3 o'clock, as I showed you there on rain trackers, a couple of showers possible. Otherwise, we're looking good. Upper 70s, so slightly cooler by just a few degrees Monday and Tuesday, and then the next front is going to come in on Wednesday with a slight chance of a shower late Wednesday and early Thursday, and then we cool off behind it by Friday.
A nice 7 days ahead. Thank you, Ivan. And now to dramatic moments in Northwest Miami-Dade. A van full of people slammed into a house. A dozen people were hurt. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner shows us surveillance video of the crash.
Marcelo Maldonado woke up to a loud noise Friday morning.
Una explosión gigante, boom.
He described it as a big explosion. Then he looked out of his bedroom window and saw this across 119th Street. He doesn't know exactly how many, but said it looked like 20 people came out of the van, injured and crying. The Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office told CBS News Miami a dozen people in the van were injured and transported to the hospital. The van was transporting people to work.
Unknown how he lost control, but we want to assure people out there that please pay attention to the road, especially early mornings, with all the traffic in Miami-Dade County. Just pay attention, be alert, no texting and driving. 3 people are in critical condition. This video surveillance shows the moment the crash happened. You can see the driver lose control, cross over the median, hitting a tree along the way, hitting 2 cars, and then hitting the garage of this home. Then you see people jumping out of the window and back doors of the van. This video surveillance shows first responders on scene too. A tow truck separated the white van from the other cars and hauled it away.
And that was Morgan Reiner reporting. We're going to hear from neighbors tonight on CBS News Miami at 5. Now at 4, new developments in a crash on the turnpike. It happened at Southwest 255th Street and ended in a canal in Southwest Miami-Dade. Chopper 4 over the scene. You can see that gray Hyundai in a canal. Please tell us the driver of the car crashed into a truck, then drove off the turnpike down a ravine and landed in the canal. He was flown to the hospital where he later died. A volunteer Little League coach faced a judge this morning. He was arrested for possessing child pornography. A judge set bond for 37-year-old Adrian Cotera at $40,000. He's also not allowed to have contact with minors, including his own children. Miami Springs police say they got a tip linking an IP address to him. Miami Springs Little League says they have parted ways with him. He faces 20 first-degree felony charges. Former Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler is facing legal troubles. He's accused of not paying his rent. A South Florida company is accusing him of missing 2 payments for a home he was leasing out of Miami Beach. And according to the lawsuit, 5 Star Marketing and Promotions says Butler's lease agreement expired on August 10th. The company says he did not make a payment on August 11th or September 11th for his extended stay in the home. Butler is also being sued for severe damage to the home. This lawsuit comes just weeks after Butler was traded by the Miami Heat to the Golden State Warriors. And we reached out to Butler's agent for a response, but have yet to hear back. When we come back, First Lady Casey DeSantis asked today if she is running for governor. What she told us straight ahead. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and First Lady Casey DeSantis joined forces for a big announcement at Florida International University. But as CBS News Miami's Maribel Rodriguez reports, a lot of people were more interested to hear what the First Lady was going to say.
Today, Governor DeSantis and First Lady announced a $2 million grant for cancer research, a research that is proving very positive for cancer research, and it all began with pediatric patients. But this grant would now allow the research being done here at Florida International University to expand to adults. Aside from their major announcement of cancer research, in their own way, they also responded to the $1 million question, will the First Lady be running for governor.
Well, I would say one thing, to quote the late, great Yogi Berra: when you come to a fork in the road, take it.
You guys can read it that way too. Look, I mean, I think that I've had people coming up to me for years begging to get her in the fray because I think you see with her presentation. I mean, she's passionate, she's articulate, she's smart, she's got rock solid values.
And the governor also responded to the question of the hundreds of jobs being cut at the National Hurricane Center and NOAA, and will this be affecting our hurricane season?
I don't know the details on it, and I'm somebody that's been critical of a lot of federal agencies over the years, I think you could say, and well-deserved. But I will say I think that the National Hurricane Center down here in Miami has done an admirable job. They don't always get it right, but they've gotten some ones pretty doggone good in more recent years.
And that was CBS News Miami's Maribel Rodriguez reporting. Casey DeSantis hasn't made a definitive decision, but a candidate backed by President Trump has announced his bid. She's going to have more on the governor's race tonight at 5. And that does it for your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Nasha Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.